जय श्री राम दोस्तों। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। Welcome back to my Vedic astrology channel, Astro Satyajit. And today we are going live, or we will be having a live interaction today on the most interesting topic of Vedic astrology, which is Raj Yogas. It sounds simple, but we today in this interaction are going to cover every possible kind of Raj Yoga. Okay. And I will also be taking certain, I would say, questions, live questions of people who join in. And we will basically cover all different Raj Yogas, okay, in Vedic astrology. So what do you mean by Raj Yogas? The moment we say Raj Yogas, what comes to our mind? Okay. So it's basically one being very fortunate, or we can say one being blessed with the divine grace, God's grace. And, Raj Yogas can also be reasons of Dhan Yogas in our horoscope, okay? Though they are two different topics, one is Raj Yoga, the other one is Dhan Yoga, but there are certain Raj Yogas which are competent to give us Dhan Yogas as well in this lifetime. Okay. Now, how typically a Raj Yoga is formed? It's very simple, but still I would cover it with my entire audience, because I'm giving a benefit of doubt to all my audience that few of us might not be, we might have heard astrologers, referring to such terms as Raj Yogas, Dhan Yogas, but we typically might not be able to appreciate or understand how exactly a Raj Yoga is formed in one's horoscope. So let me share my screen, friends, and once I share my screen, I will be able to show you. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So here's, I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Okay. And is my screen visible to all? Can anyone respond on the live chat? Okay. I think now we are on with the screen. And I have one message from Mr. Maheshwar. Okay. So, Mr. Maheshwar, I will take your question. Let me just start the topic, and I will definitely answer your question. So, first of all, this is an example horoscope of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. We are all well aware of Mahatma Gandhi, so I need not get into details of his, uh, life journey. I will just basically, with reference to his chart, first of all, in a Vedic horoscope, this is the first house, guys. Okay. This we refer as the first house, which is your ascendant. We call it the Lagna, the ascendant, the first house. The first house qualifies to be a Vishnu Sthan. Okay. The first house qualifies to be a Vishnu Sthan. This is the fourth house of the horoscope. So if I count anti-clockwise, friends, this is house number 1, this is house number 2, this is house number 3, this is house number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this is the 12th house. So the first house is a Vishnu Sthan. Okay. The fourth house of the horoscope is again a Vishnu Sthan. The seventh house of the horoscope is a Vishnu Sthan. And the 10th house of the horoscope is a Vishnu Sthan. Okay. So there are 4 Vishnu sthans in our horoscope. We call them as quadrant houses. We call them as Kendra sthans. And please remember, when we are discussing Raj Yogas, so the Vishnu sthans or the sthans that I'm referring to become extremely critical. Okay, we are talking about Raj Yoga, guys. This is God's grace, Ishwar ki kripa, divine grace on us, Bhagwan ka Ashirwad. Okay. In Vedic astrology, as we have these 4 Vishnu sthans, the first house, the 4th house, the 7th house, and the 10th house of the horoscope, we have again Lakshmi sthans as well. Okay. The Lakshmi sthans are the first house, the 5th house, and the 9th house. I repeat, the first house is both a Kendra and a Trikon. It qualifies to be both a Vishnu sthan as well as a Lakshmi sthan. Some of my fellow colleagues might debate and they might refer only as the 5th house and the 9th house to the Lakshmi sthans. But my learning and my experience and, as per Brihat Parashar Hura Shastra, if I go ahead, the first house qualifies to be both a Kendra and a Trikona. So that means the first house qualifies to be both a quadrant house as well as a trine. And this is a Vishnu sthan as well as a Lakshmi sthan, friends. Okay. The first house is a Lakshmi sthan. The 5th house of the horoscope is a Lakshmi sthan. And the 9th house of the horoscope is a Lakshmi sthan. So please remember, I referred to the first house, 4th house, 7th house, and 10th house to be the Vishnu sthans, the Kendra sthans, the quadrant houses. And I referred the first house, the 5th house, and the 9th house to be the trinal houses, the trines, the Trikonas, or the Lakshmi sthans. Now, if there is a union, if there is a conjunction, or if there is any kind of relationship that is getting established in your horoscope, okay, I repeat, if there is any relationship that is getting established in your horoscope where a Kendra Lord, okay, which can be Lord of your first house, Lord of the 4th house, Lord of the 7th house, or Lord of the 10th house. If the Kendra Adipati, any of the Kendra lords of these 4 quadrant houses, if they make any relationship with the trinal houses, okay, which is the 1st Lord, the 5th Lord, or the 9th Lord. So conjunction between the quadrant lords with the trinal lords is a Raj Yoga. It can be a conjunction, it can be mutual aspect with each other, or it can be Rashi Parivartan in each other's house. Simply, I'll again repeat, if the first house Lord, okay, which is your Lagna Lord, which is your ascendant Lord, friends, if that is placed in the 5th house, okay, it is one form of a Raj Yoga, friends. Hence, we say that if the Kendra Lords, which is the 1st house Lord, the 4th house Lord, the 7th house Lord, and the 10th house Lord, if they are placed in the trinal houses of your horoscope, that means if I have the 4th house Lord placed in the 1st house, it's a Raj Yoga. If we have the 7th house Lord placed in the 1st house, again, it's a Raj Yoga. If we have the 10th house Lord placed in the 1st house, it qualifies for a Raj Yoga because the quadrant Lords are making a connection with a trine. And I told you the 1st house is both a quadrant and a trine. Likewise, if the 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th Lord, they are placed in the 5th house of your horoscope, or if they are placed in the 9th house of your horoscope, again, they qualify for a Raj Yoga. And the yoga becomes much stronger and the yoga gets, competent to give its results during the Mahadasha and Antardasha of the planets which are getting associated and making that Raj Yoga So they are extremely competent to give results in their Mahadashas and Antardashas, I repeat. And if both the planets are equally participating in a yoga, both the planets are sitting comfortably with strength, then definitely in the Mahadasha or Antardasha of both the planets, there will be a Raj Yoga getting manifested in one's life. Okay? How that happens? If the first house Lord is sitting in the fifth house, and at the same time, if the fifth house Lord goes and sits in the Lagna. So there is a Sthan Parivartan, a Rashi Parivartan between the fifth house Lord and the Lagna Lord. The Lagna Lord goes and sits in the fifth house goes to the Lagna. It's a Raj Yoga. The Lagna Lord goes to the ninth house Lord goes to the Lagna. Now, in this example chart of Mahatma Gandhi, let us understand which are the Raj Yogas which are getting formed that we discussed right away. See, Venus is the Lagna Lord. It's a Libra ascendant Jatak. Mahatma Gandhi is a Libra ascendant individual, friends. So Venus happens to be the Lagna Lord, Lord of the first house. And Mercury is Lord of his ninth house. You can see Venus and Mercury conjunct in the Lagna itself. Now, when Venus and Mercury are conjunct in the Lagna, friends, this is a very, I would say, high grade Raj Yoga, because the Lord of the Ascendant is getting associated with Lord of the ninth house. So it's basically the Lagna Lord getting associated with the Bhagya Lord. Okay, this is God's grace. From the ninth house, we see God's grace, friends. This is God's grace. This is Bhagyasthan. Now, if the Bhagyadipati, Mercury being the Lord of the ninth house, conjunct with Venus, which is Lord of the first house, this is a grade Raj Yoga. Now, when this Raj Yoga is going to give results to the individual, primarily in the Mercury Mahadasha and also in the Venus Mahadasha, and it will be extremely beneficial in Venus Mahadasha, Mercury Antardasha, or Mercury Mahadasha and Venus Antardasha. Yes, these Raj Yogas also get triggered not just by the time periods of the dasha. Dasha is definitely important, the most important thing for any yoga to manifest in one's life. However, they also get triggered due to different planetary transits. Okay. Similarly, this is very simple, guys. The Kendra Lord, the first Lord, the fourth Lord, the seventh Lord, or the 10th Lord getting associated with either the first, the fifth, or the ninth. Similarly, there is one planet in most of our horoscopes, which we refer to as a Raj Yogkari Graha. A Raj Yogkari Graha. Now, when I say a Raj Yogkari Graha, that means that planet individually is competent enough to give us Raj Yogas in this lifetime. And maybe that planet necessarily might not get associated with any other planet in the horoscope. It single-handedly is competent to give us Raj Yogas in this lifetime. Now, which can be that planet in one's horoscope? Any planet which is simultaneously owning your Kendra houses as well as your trinal houses. So that means if a single planet is having rulership of any of the Kendra houses in your horoscope, which is 1, 4, 7, and 10, the first house, the fourth house, the seventh house, and the 10th house, and simultaneously, if they are also owning the trinal houses, friends, which is the fifth house or the ninth house or the Lagna. Now understand this. That means irrespective of whatever may be the Lagna for any individual, starting from Aries Lagna to Pisces Lagna, remember this. I'm giving you something which you might not have heard in other channels, in other astrological interactions. This is extremely critical. Please understand this. The Lagna Lord or the Ascendant Lord, friends, is one planet which is the Rajyogkari Graha for every individual. Why? Because this Lagna Lord, the Lord of the first house, is actually the Lord of a quadrant as well as Lord of a trine. I told you the first house is a Kendra and a Trikona both. So for every individual, the Lagna Lord invariably, the Lagna Lord undisputedly will be the first planet which qualifies to be the Rajyogkari Graha. And hence we say that the Dasha of the Lagnesh, the Dasha, the Mahadasha of the Ascendant Lord is, the most defining Mahadasha in one's life. It is when you have that divine grace, you have that Rajyogkari Graha running in your life. So the Ascendant Lord becomes the giver of Raj Yoga. It becomes that planet which can give you transformation. It is that planet which will definitely take you towards your actual purpose of life. I repeat, friends, the Lagna Lord, the Lagna being a Kendra and a trine both, the Lagna being a Vishnu Sthan and a Lakshmi Sthan simultaneously. Hence, the Lagna Lord or the Ascendant Lord is the first planet that qualifies to be a Rajyogkari Graha for every individual, irrespective of whatever may be their Lagna. I hope I am clear, friends. Now, for a Libra ascendant, in this example, for a Libra ascendant horoscope, as I said, Venus becomes the Rajyogkari Graha, no doubt, because Venus owns a Kendra and a Trikona, which is the Lagna itself, the ascendant itself. And now if you see the fourth house, which is Capricorn or Makar Rashi, the fifth house, which is Aquarius or Kumbh Rashi, both the houses are owned by Saturn. Saturn has the ownership of Capricorn. Saturn also owns Aquarius. So Saturn qualifies to be the Rajyogkari Graha for a Libra ascendant Jatak other than the ascendant Lord. In addition to the ascendant Lord, a special status has been given to Saturn for all Libra ascendants because Saturn happens to own a Kendra Sthan, which is the fourth house, and Saturn also simultaneously owns a trinal house, a Trikon Bhav, which is the fifth house. So Saturn becomes the Rajyogkari Graha for a Libra ascendant Jatak. Saturn, irrespective of its association with any other planet, is competent to give us Raj Yoga in its Dasha Mahadasha. I repeat, guys. So Venus becomes extremely beneficial because this is the Lagna Lord, invariably, one of the most beneficial planet for a Libra ascendant Jatak. I do understand there will be people contesting that Libra also owns, or rather Venus also owns the 8th house. Okay, the Dushthan, the Trik Bhava, the 6th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house is referred to as the Trik Bhava. But understand, moment any planet owns your Lagna, that means it owns a trine, the 1st house, 5th house, and 9th house. The trinal houses, the moment any planet is owning any of the 3 trines, the trinal houses, the Trikon Bhavas, I again repeat, which is the 1st house is a trine, the 5th house is a trine, and the 9th house is a trine, then that planet is always benefic. Please do not get confused from multiple videos, multiple forums. Just remember the ground rule. Any planet which owns any of the Trikon sthans, any of the trinal houses, be it the 1st house, the 5th house, or the 9th house, then they will not be having any malefic nature, even if they are simultaneously owning any of the Trik Bhavas, which is the 6th house, the 8th house, or the 12th house. So Venus definitely will not get the dosha of the 8th house Lord. Yes, the flavor of transformation will be there in Venus. I'm not disputing, but it will not have the dosha of the 8th house Lord because it is Lord of a trine house. The Lagna qualifies to be a trine as well. Similarly, if you see Mercury is the lord of the ninth house, and Mercury is the lord of the 12th house also for a Libra ascendant individual. But this does not make the Mercury malefic at all. Mercury owns a trine. Mercury owns the ninth house. So even if it is the Mool Trikon Rashi, it is the Rashi of exaltation for Mercury. I understand 12th house has Virgo Rashi, which is the Mool Trikon Rashi, the Rashi of exaltation for Mercury, but still Mercury will not have the dosha of the Trik Bhava Lord or the Lord of the 12th house. In this Libra ascendant example, Mercury qualifies to be a benefic again because Mercury owns one of the trines. Mercury is the ruler of the ninth house. So, in a Libra ascendant Jatak, the first A grade, the Raj Yoga Karka planets or the benefic planets will be Venus, Saturn, and Mercury. Saturn is the Rajyogkari Graha because it is a single planet owning a Kendrasthan, the fourth house, and a trine house, which is the fifth house. So definitely it becomes a Rajyogkari Graha. So Venus, Saturn, and Mercury invariably will always try and do good to a Libra ascendant Jatak. It all depends on with how much strength are they disposed in one's horoscope. I hope this basic condition of the Raj Yoga, the basic condition of the Kendra lords getting associated with the Trikon lords, the Kendra lords getting associated with the Trikon lords is clear, guys. This is the base. This is the first step. This is basically the foundation, of Raj Yogas in Vedic astrology. This is how we understand, and we will get into deeper, more finer details. However, before I go further with the Raj Yoga discussion, as I promised in the very beginning, friends, let me take, uh, a chart, for example, and I'll start. And Maheshwarji, are you still with us? If Maheshwarji is still there, I will take his chart. Hello, Yashji. I think Maheshwarji is not there. So the second message in my chat window, I can see it is for Yash. So Yash, let me take your details. And I hope, Yash, you are okay if I punch in your details on my screen and the screen is, on sharing mode. I hope you have no problems. Any which ways you have put in your birth details on my chat window, which is, I believe, visible to all. So, Yash, I'm going ahead with your details first. So let me open up a chart for Yash. Yash, your date of birth you've given me is 25th Feb 2003. Okay. The time of birth is 6:50 a.m. Okay. The state is Bihar. And can you tell me the city? Raxaul. Let me try and see if it picks up. Okay, Raxaul. Okay, I get it. I'll reconfirm, Yash, please, help me confirm your details once again before I answer anything for your chart. We have details for Yash, 25th Feb 2003. Time of birth is 6:50 in the morning, Raxaul, Bihar, India. Is that correct, Yash? Okay. Now, Yash, you tell me, ask me a question. And if I can explain people the Raj Yoga example. So now let's understand this. Yash being a Aquarius ascendant Jatak. So it's a Kumbh Lagna. It's Aquarius ascendant. It is Aquarius rising in the ascendant, guys. Okay. The Lord of the ascendant is Saturn. So this is one of the Kendra lords, Saturn. Please understand this. The fourth Kendra is Taurus. So Venus rules the fourth house in case of Yash. Sun is the ruler of the seventh house, guys. This is Leo Rashi. And Mars is the ruler of the 10th house. This is Scorpio. If you can see, Saturn anyways qualifies to be that benefic planet for Yash because it's a lord of the ascendant. And it will not matter. Now, in this case, just see beautifully, we were talking about examples. Saturn is also owning one of the Trik Bhavas. The 6th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house are the Trik Bhavas. So Saturn owns the 12th house as well. But yes, Saturn being the lord of the ascendant, it will always be that benefic planet for Yash in this lifetime, which is comfortably placed in the fourth house, in its best friends Rashi. You know, the best buddies in Vedic astrology, the best, I would say unconditional friends are Venus and Saturn. They will never harm each other. Mark my words. They are unconditional. They have unconditional love towards each other. They are the best buddies of Vedic astrology, the best friends. Okay. Now, Venus is the Rajyokari Graha in the case of Yash, because Venus owns the fourth house, which is Taurus, and Venus also simultaneously is owning one of the trinal houses, the Trikon houses, which is the ninth house. So, fourth house being a Kendra Bhav and ninth house being a Trikon Bhav, Venus for Yash becomes the Rajyokari Graha. So, that means Venus is equipped to give us Raj Yoga. Now see, we have a very beautiful Raj Yoga, and this Raj Yoga is getting formed in the 11th house. So this Raj Yoga is equally competent, or rather equipped to be a Dhan Yoga as well. Why I say this? Venus is the lord of the 9th house. Mars is the lord of the 10th house. The most, I would say, strong, if the trinal houses are the first, fifth, and the ninth, the most benefic or the most auspicious trinal house is the ninth house. So if there is any association or if there is any yoga between the ninth house lord and the 10th house lord, that is Raj Yoga of the topmost order. I repeat, guys, any association of the ninth house lord along with the 10th house lord, because this is the strongest Trikon Bhav, the ninth house, and 10th house qualifies to be the strongest Kendra Sthan. Okay. This is Dharma. This is Dharma Sthan. This is Dharma means righteousness. I am saying God's grace. This is Father's blessing, Guru's blessings, higher knowledge, in a long distance travel. Our traditions, our customs. This is Devik Kripa. This is Bhagya. And this is overall Karmasthan. Okay. All the karmas that we perform in this Janma. So if there is an association of the Dharma or the Bhagya Lord with the Karma Lord, see, so beautifully it is getting associated in the horoscope of Yash. How? We have the 9th house Lord Venus getting associated with the 10th house Lord Mars, and they are in the 11th house of the horoscope. So this definitely qualifies to be a Raj Yoga, and this Raj Yoga also is equipped to give a lot of dhan during its manifestation periods. Now, when will the Raj Yoga give us the best results? It is during the Venus periods. Okay. Right now, our friend Yash is going through I would say, a very favorable time. Now, there can be certain emotional traumas that he might have faced. Again, I'm not getting into details, guys, here, but I can see Venus Saturn going on from 25th September 2023, And in the Mahadasha of Venus, Saturn Antardasha will be running till the 25th of November 2026. And if I have to see, right now it is Venus, Saturn, Moon. Okay, Venus, Saturn, Moon. And then we have a Venus, Saturn, Mars coming up on the 25th of October. So if we have to refer this Raj Yoga, it will be beautifully getting manifested anytime on or after 25th of October 2025. And this small phase of Raj Yoga, I'm talking about the Pratyantar of Mars. So Venus, Saturn, Mars runs from 25th October 2025 to the 1st Jan 2026. So primarily, I would say from Diwali till the end of this year, it's a very benefic period that Yash is going to go through. I repeat, it's Venus, Saturn, and Mars I am referring to. Okay. Now I'll take another example, guys. Let me take in the same order. Do we have Diksha with us? Diksha, are you still there? If Diksha is still there, I will definitely take her chart. I see it's a critical question she had asked, and I will be happy to help her. However, I think we do not have Diksha. Okay. And okay, I missed Hero Hemant. And before Hero Hemant, I have Samkit Jain. Do we have Samkit Jain? God bless you, Yash. God bless you. Do we have... Okay, let me take up in that same order, then Hero Hemant. So let me take the details for Hemant. Okay. Hemant. Just give me one sec. Okay. It's 30th August 1997. 30th August 1997, 10:25 in the morning, Tamil Nadu, Chennai. Okay. So Hemant, just confirm your details once. It's Hemant, 30th August 1997. The time of birth is 10:25 in the morning. Place of birth is Chennai, Tamil Nadu. I hope that's correct. Okay. Today happens to be, okay. So we have another Libra ascendant. So I started with the example of Mahatma Gandhi, who is a Libra ascendant. He also has moon in his 10th house. So it's a Cancer Rashi, Karka Rashi. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi has a Slesha Nakshatra. Our friend Hemant is a Pushya Nakshatra Jatak. So moon is placed in Pushya. And okay. So tell me your question. Let me just understand. Your question was, what want to know about my career? Want to know about my career. Okay. Now, Hemant, first thing first, the most benefic planets for you I said will be definitely Venus, which is Lord of your ascendant. I can see it is placed in the 12th house. It is in its Rashi of debilitation. First thing, I would advise you to be as far as possible from your place of birth. So if you're born in Chennai, Hemant, can you please confirm me currently you are in which city and where you are trying to, where do you work currently? Which city do you work in? What do you do? You might not give me details of your current job or your current career. That is something I'll identify, but I need to understand, are you still in and around Chennai or are you far away from Chennai? Because it is highly recommended that you move to a foreign setup, a city which is far away from your place of birth. In your case, that's Chennai, a city which has a different language, a different culture. So basically, a foreign setup means the language is different, the eating habits are different, the attire is different. That qualifies it to be foreign. No. So, Hemant, if you are really struggling with your job and you're saying that for the last 2 years you have not been able to get a job, I'm really sorry to hear that. And I do understand things do get difficult if someone has not been able to get a job for the last 2 years. And I see your, time getting improved. Let me be very clear to you. You have to move away, come out of Chennai. How easy or how difficult is that thing for you, making a move out of your place of birth? Is it possible practically, or are there limitations which will not allow you to move out of Chennai? Because that's the first thing that you have to. Because the moment I see the Lagnesh in the 12th house, you will only prosper, you will do better for yourself in this Janma when you are in this foreign setup. You can't be in your place of birth. Your ascendant Lord is in the 12th house. Okay. Your Rajyog Karigraha Saturn is in the 6th house. Yes, there is a mutual aspect between Venus and Saturn. So this is favorable, guys, though it's in the 6-12 axis, but still I would say it's favorable. And being Venus, this is the only planet, which still will not be doing really very bad in the 12th house. Because if you remember, I would have told you guys that Venus is a planet which gets exalted in the 12th house in the Kalpurush Kundli. Because Venus gets exalted in Pisces. Venus is Ma Lakshmi. 12th house is the feet of Sri Hari. Ma Lakshmi gets exalted at the feet of Sri Hari. And I said that this Venus in the 12th house, yes, it may not be that bad, but still I would say either try for a job in a multinational, and the best would be to move out of Chennai. Even if you can move out to begin with, if you can move your location from Chennai, maybe to Bangalore, from Chennai, maybe to Hyderabad, to start, still it will be good. But definitely, changing your base location or moving out of your place of birth is highly recommended. And if I also look at your Navamsh, okay, and if I look at your Lagna Tulya Navamsh, so I just rotated your Navamsha without changing the planetary placements, they remain the same. I just rotated your Navamsha chart and made Tula as the Lagna. This particular chart that I just made is called Lagna Tulya Navamsh. And you could see the struggle. The struggle is not just for 2 years. The struggle has been there from 22nd July 2020. It's a 7-year period of struggle. The entire Ketu Mahadasha is struggle. I don't want to dishearten while I say this, but yes, the Ketu Mahadasha is a dasha of transformation, a dasha of, at times unpleasant events getting triggered in one's life, because in the Lagna Tulya Navamsh, Ketu happens to be placed in your 8th house. Understand, this is the 8th Rashi, guys. I told you the most difficult planet in our horoscope becomes the planet which gets placed in the 8th house of the Lagna Tulya Navamsh. That means in your Navamsha, any planet which gets placed in the 8th Rashi of your D1 chart will give us those difficulties, will give us those phases of transformation. We have to hold the fort, okay? We have to remain spiritual. Ketu period, yes, it's a difficult period. And Ketu Saturn, again, you're also going through your Saturn return, my friend, because your Saturn is placed in Pisces when you were born. And in the current planetary gochar, in the current transit, Saturn has entered Pisces on the 29th of March 2025. So a Saturn return is not easy. A Saturn return is a phase, a transformatory phase. Any transformation, the final result may be good, but the process, yes, you get grilled to some extent. So the Ketu Mahadasha overall has its share of struggle. Saturn return again is a phase of transformation, and it is getting, more prominent because you are even running the Saturn Antardasha and the Ketu Mahadasha, which started from 15th June 2025. I would request you to do a Ganesh Gayatri mantra, one mala of the Ganesh Gayatri mantra, Hemant. And I'm just giving you this mantra here. It's Om Ek Dantaye Vidmahe Vakritundaye Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. I repeat that for you again. Om Ek Dantaye Vidmahe Vakritundaye Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Do one mala every day, starting a Tuesday. So tomorrow being a Tuesday, after you take your shower, when you do sit for in front of your puja sthan, do this mala, this mantra, Ganesh Gayatri mantra 108 times, and you have to do it daily, and you have to start doing it from tomorrow. I'm not saying it will give you overnight, magical results, but trust me, the Ganesh Gayatri mantra is going to give you a lot of benefic results, a lot of strength and good results. Trust me. And first, please try and, move out of Chennai. Look out for opportunities outside Chennai. And if you are looking out for opportunities within Chennai, please only restrict your job search with multinationals. So at least the foreign element is involved to some extent. God bless you, Hemant. So guys, I will pause this live interaction today. I hope this was informative, okay? And I would request, genuinely again, I would request, help me grow this family of Astro Satyajit. And I would request all my viewers, all my listeners to please subscribe to my channel, like my videos if you really genuinely find the information that I'm trying to share through these interactions as real, genuine, and they are helping you. Please, participate in my journey of making, Vedic astrology reach everyone possible so that we are all able to, make this way of life and don't restrict this as a mere predictive tool. So thank you so much. Please would request to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and do share these videos with all other astrology enthusiasts. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Jai Shri Ram.